What is up, my fellow skeletons? UnKellAble here, and welcome to Bloody Painter Dating Sim, a visual novel horror game where you are playing as the pro tag who is kidnapped and stuck in a serial killer's house for 7 days, and you have to try and either please him or find another way to survive. Without further ado, let's get into it. With a severe headache, you wake up in an unfamiliar place. As you touch the bruise on the back of your head, it seems you were hit by something heavy before you lost consciousness. A heavy iron chain tied around your feet. Someone has trapped you here. Try to remember what happened before you lost consciousness, but you can't recall anything. Let's investigate the surroundings first. Wall, cell phone, mattress, meal, door, and the investigation. I don't even have to look at anything and just say, whatever, this is how it is. Let's start with the wall. The room is surrounded by 4 walls without any windows. It's weirdly cleaned up. No ashes or sand can be seen. Looks like a prison built by a germaphobe. Where to investigate next? Cell phone. No signal. I might be in a remote place or underground. Mattress. There's a mattress on the floor. The mattress feels really hard to lie on. Meal. Near the door, there's a serving of spaghetti with tomato sauce and a bottle of water. Also, a round plastic fork that's completely harmless was thoughtfully attached. It's still warm. Feels like I was sent here not long ago. Door. You peek through the keyhole, but you see nothing outside. I wonder where I am. Oh, that's it. What's the next move? Yell for help, listen, knock over the meal, sleep. So I'm guessing I can, there's like any other I can save. Guess we'll start off with the fun route of being the princess who needs saving. Yell for help. Nobody answers. Nobody answers. Nobody answers. Listen. You can't hear any sound other than your own breathing. The soundproofing in this room seems particularly good. Knock over the meal? Are you sure? I mean, I've saved, so I guess I can if I really need to. Yeah, fuck the meal. Yeah! You make the room messy and dirty with food. I guess sleep. You lay on the bed. You try to sleep under this condition. Maybe it's the fatigue caused by nervousness, but you still fall asleep. ... You open your eyes after hearing some noises. Oh, hello. A tall man wearing a mask is squatting on the ground and looking at you with his head tilted. He looks extremely displeased. You notice the mop and the bucket he brought with him. Who are you? Why did you abduct me? He starts to clean up, ignoring your questions. After a while, the dirty room became clean, and he doesn't forget to spray alcohol everywhere to disinfect it when he's done. Day 2. Morning. The first day passed. You feel very hungry. There has been no food or water sent in here since yesterday. Sometimes, when you're so hungry that your stomach hurts, you can only use your arms to press your stomach hard to relieve the pain. Day 3. Night. The third day passed. There's a chill in your limbs, and you can't muster any strength in your hands and feet. You need to replenish calories to maintain bodily functions, or else you'll faint. Day 7. A week passed. You're lying on the bed in a daze, with only one breath left. In a trance, you hear the sounds of the heavy gates being opened one by one. And then, it's the footsteps getting closer to you. You feel that your body is in the air. It seems like someone has picked you up. You think it would be great if it's the police coming to rescue. The possibility makes you fall asleep in peace. Dot, dot, dot. But you never wake up again. Bad end 6-1. Messy is unacceptable. Sleep. You lay on the bed. You try to sleep under this condition. Maybe it's a tall man wearing a mask is He remains silent, as if he is sizing up his prey. He points to the plate on the floor, like indicating that you should finish your meal quickly. Thinking that the strange man might have poisoned the meal, you shake your head in fear. Seeing you have no intention of eating, he looks quite distressed.
You can't die.
Oh, there's voice acting.
Not now.
He slowly speaks with a deep and steady voice.
The freezer is full.
What does that mean?
The freezer is full, and there's no space for more.
You talking about eating me?
7 days.
Oh, like the movie, right? He pauses and thinks.
There won't be space until 7 days later. If you die now, you'll rot.
What do you mean? So I only have 7 days left to live? He nods and walks out of the door. Wait, you can't just leave me here like this, please. Your cries can't stop the door from closing. Day 1, night. Let's investigate the surroundings first. Mattress. 2, door. You peek outside from the keyhole. You see the shadow of the man walking around. Seems to be busy with something. What is he doing? Meal. A bread and a bottle of water. I guess I'm not eating. There's not really much I can do, I guess. Okay. Cool. Guess sleep. Please try to improve your survival rate within 7 days. Day 2. Morning. Okay. Empty plate. You check the keyhole. You seem to see something. You see that there's a vague figure at the end of the door. Yelp for help. Help! After yelling for help, you finally realize what that is. That is an artwork made of the human body, not a human being. You hear the door open. You slowly push the door, and there's no trace of the strange man. First, you go into a room with a large freezer, sink, and operating table. Then you open another heavy door. You find yourself in a room full of glass display jars. Oh my word. The jars are filled with specimens made from human body parts. Ears, tongue, eyes, teeth, fingers. At least he's organizing. It's like you're in an art museum. Could it be that he wanted to freeze me as material for specimen artwork? You're thinking. You seeing this scene? Fuck! Run away, admire the artworks. Alright, so what happens if I just go observe quietly? You sense something wrong and realize what that is after narrowing your eyes. This is an artwork made from a human body, not a human being. Ugh. Okay, and then I think it just goes through the same... Okay, so either way, you're gonna get to the same area. I am going to run away. You look for a door to escape everywhere, but you can't find any. With an idea, you lie on the wall and start tapping, trying to find if there is a hidden secret passage. Just when you're tapping, someone covers your face with a small towel from behind. You pass out after struggling for 2 to 3 minutes. You're back in the small room when you wake up, and the door is locked. There's no such chance ever again after that. You can only eat the meal he sends every day and wait for the 7th day to come. I think I lost. I think I died. That end 6-3, lamb to the slaughter. Alright, so what happens if I just scream? What the hell are these 6 stuffs? You say all the curse words you can think of in your life. You raise your fist and smash it against the glass cabinet, but stop just before your fist hits it. Your wrist is grabbed by someone. Ah, yes, this is not good. Before you realize it, the man is already standing behind you.
The last thing I welcome is an uneducated person like you.
I'm dead. What? You feel a twinge in your abdomen, and then the red, warm liquid flows out. He kills you, and he cleans up at the scene carefully. After dissolving you with strong acid, he buries you in the garden. That ends 6-2. You're not even good enough to be material. How very depressing. Admire the artworks. You look around and admire his work with relish. You look at them for 15 minutes straight.
Interesting.
You hear a voice coming from the corner. Turns out that the man has been watching you from a blind spot behind the glass cabinet. I like them. They're so beautiful. The man goes silent with his head tilted for a couple of seconds after hearing your comment. He seems to be thinking about something.
Don't you consider it cruel or bloodthirsty to them?
No, I feel nothing at all. ...
You're such a weirdo.
You think, aren't you talking about yourself? After you have a tour in his display room, he locks you back in the small room you were in. You go to sleep, end the day. Your survival rate increases. Day 3, night. Until noon, you don't see breakfast or lunch being delivered. You're already starving. You're waiting for him to bring dinner, but what you get is not dinner. Instead, you hear the door was opened. A light shines through the crack of the half-open door, looking like an intriguing invitation. You open the door and walk into that light. You first arrive at the room with the operating table outside of the door. But this time, the operating table is not empty. There's a defrosted human corpse on it. Ah, okay. The man pops out of somewhere. He unties the iron chains from your feet and hands the surgical knife in his hand to you.
First, where do you think the first cut should be?
His voice tones sound cold, like that kind of teacher who gives students hard questions on purpose. Ah, another save moment. Ah, that's always great. Attack him with a surgical knife. Can't do it. Stab the corpse. Attack him with a surgical knife. Yeah, that's not enough. You turn around quickly and try to stab him with the surgical knife. Ah. But he seems to already know you would do that and holds you down quickly.
You were indeed pretending.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm definitely not going to get murdered here. Oh, he didn't murder me. He locks you back in the small room you were in. There's no such chance ever again after that. You can only eat the meal he sends every day and wait for the 7th day to come. That end 6-4. Smartass. Alright. I can't do it. You can't hurt innocent people, even if it's a corpse. But if you don't cut it, the man will know you're just pretending to admire his artwork to survive. After struggling with your thoughts, you drop the knife in your hand in fear.
You were indeed pretending.
Oh, I'm dead again. Locks you back in the small room you were in. There's no such chance ever again after that. You can only eat the meal he sends you and wait for the 7th day to come. Alright, I'm guessing it's going to give me the same, maybe a different ending. Bad end 6-5. Too soft-hearted. Stab the corpse. Maybe beautiful works always come with some sacrifices. Without hesitation, you stab the abdomen of the corpse with the knife. But due to lack of professionalism, the lines you cut are crooked and ugly. And this is when he gets close behind your back and holds your hand. You're both holding the surgical knife, like you two are cutting a cake together. Okay, I see where this is going. We went from, oh yeah, no, we're fine, to, okay, now we're just gonna be part, you know, like a serial killer couple. With his hand and the lines you cut become smooth and clean. Sweating. You can smell an ocean perfume on him due to how close you are. It seems to be sprayed to cover up the smell of formalin. You can feel his warmth with your back, but his fingers are a little cold. He's focusing on cutting the corpse, and your hand keeps moving under his lead. He could have killed you or ignored you, but he didn't. You start to speculate on the purpose of his behaviors. Could it be that he wants someone who can ignore the cruelty and process and understand him? You think. After the happy, creative time ends, you're locked in the room you were in. You go to sleep to end the day. Day 4, noon. Until noon, you don't see the breakfast or lunch being delivered. You're already starving. You notice that something is shining at the corner. Oh, it's a key. It seems like the man accidentally dropped it last night. You open the door with the key. You go past the operating table where you two spent creative time, in quotation marks, together last night. The display room. Then you discover that there are unnatural, uneven marks from one wall to the corner. You find a trapdoor. After pushing the trapdoor, you see a normal basement storage room. At the corner of the storage room, you see a stair that goes up. It turns out that this is really an underground secret room, hidden layer by layer with trapdoor. No wonder the sound insulation is so good. You walk up the stairs and see a heavy wooden board. You push it hard. What catches your eyes is the interior of a cozy cabin. Then you realize the heavy wooden board you just pushed is the back of a bookcase. You look around and find that there are insect specimens everywhere in the cabin, and there is also a reindeer head specimen hanging on the wall. Why does everything have to have specimen? Is this a book specimen? Is that a painting specimen? Is that a fire furnace specimen? Oh, I did just notice that there is a photograph of the killer. Maybe we can get his face. Maybe. Then you walk into the living room. You see a young man with a handsome face and pale skin lying on the sofa. The ocean-scented perfume and the faint of smell formalin emanates from his body. It's him. He's the masked man who kidnapped you. But he's not wearing a mask at this time. His sleeping face has a ferocious expression. His neck is sweating and he seems to be trembling. It looks like he's sick. At this time, you decide to take the opportunity to escape, stay, and take care of him. Let's take the opportunity to escape. If you don't run away now, then when? You open the door and find a forest with heavy snow outside. You remember why you came here. You were traveling alone. In the evening, your car hit a deer on the forest road and then stalled. With no cell phone signal in the deep mountains, you walk on the road for 30 minutes until it got dark. Then you saw the lights of a cabin in the forest and decided to ask the occupants for help. That's when you witnessed that scene. You witnessed a man wearing a mask dragging a corpse into the cabin. And unfortunately, you were discovered by the man. You ran wildly on the mountain road, but the man was more familiar with the terrain than you were, and he quickly got in front of you and knocked you out. Then when you opened your eyes, you were in the underground secret room. But this time, the man fell ill on the couch, and there's no one to stop you. You cross the gate with confidence, but after you only take a few steps, I'm dead. A sharp pain hits your calf, and you look down at the blood-red stain on the snow. Just now, you realize that there are a lot of bear traps placed around the cabin, and it was difficult for you to identify them because they were covered by the snow. The unstoppable pain makes you fall towards the snow in front of you. As more bear traps are triggered, you are no longer you. You are an unrecognizable piece of flesh. The snow is dyed even brighter red, and you can only wait for the wolves to eat up your remains. Bad end. 6 of 6. Beware of traps. Oh, that's a terrible way to die. Alright, well. Alright, I guess we're going the Stockholm route. Stay and take care of him. You can't bear to leave him alone, so you reach out and touch his forehead. Whoa, so hot. You try to find something that can cool him down. Let's investigate. Living room, kitchen, and let's go living room. Living room is spotlessly clean. Where to investigate next? Sofa. You don't think it's good for a patient to sleep on the sofa, but you can't move him with your strength. Where to investigate next? Specimens. It feels like he did them all. The workmanship of these specimens is exquisite. Photo frame. There's a photo frame on the shelf. It's a photo of him standing at the entrance of the Judicial Mental Hospital with a man in a doctor's robe. Cocoa powder. There's a jar of cocoa powder and a cup on it. Let's make him a cup of cocoa. Locked box. There's a box with a combination lock on the shelf. I don't have the combination. Helen Otis, gender male, birthday October 1st, 1980. Okay. October 1st. Oh, there you go. There's a note in the box that says V equals 2FTP3S LILA0. Weird. I wonder what that means. The kitchen is spotlessly clean. Fridge. There's some ice cubes in it. These can cool down his body temperature. Cabinet. You find some clean towels in the kitchen cabinet. I can soak a towel in ice water and place it on the patient's forehead to cool him down. End the investigation. You return to the living room, wring out the excess water from a towel soaked in ice water and place it on his forehead. His ferocious expression gradually softened. You once again notice his fair skin and long eyelashes, and his slightly curly black hair. If you don't say he is a murderer, his sleeping face looks very harmless now. After a while, he wakes up to the scent of your brewing cocoa and sits up on the couch. He looks a little shocked. He looks around quickly and seems to understand what is going on.
Why are you doing this?
Because I'm crazy, just like you. We're meant to be together. I want to ask myself that too.
You saw me faint and didn't choose to run away.
Well, I mean, I did, but I ended up dying anyways, so there's that.
You're such a weirdo.
Is there anyone weirder than you in this house? Can't help but bitch about him. You seem to see the corners of his mouth rising slightly for a few seconds, and the atmosphere between you relaxes. He doesn't drink the cocoa you brewed for him. It seems that he is still a little wary of you. Can you tell me who you are?
Bloody Painter. That's the name they gave me for my modus operandi. If you find it difficult to pronounce, you can call me BP.
Even though what he told you was just a nickname, at least you know what to call him now. After the brief conversation on the sofa, he does not lock you back in the underground secret room. Perhaps staying to take care of him when he fell ill was enough to prove that you won't run away. You get up from the sofa and continue to look at the specimen decorations in the living room. He sits on the sofa, crosses his legs, picks up a book and starts reading.
By the way, you better not try to escape. There are traps all around the cabin, and only I know how to get in and out safely.
You sit on the sofa. Soon, a wave of sleepiness comes over you. Today, you fall asleep on the sofa in the living room, not in the cold, underground secret room. Your survival rate increases. That's always fun to hear. Who doesn't like that? Day 5. Morning. You see him busy cleaning in and out of the house early in the morning. I'll come help too. After finishing speaking, you pick up the rag and bucket and join the cleaning. But you can't really see where this almost spotless house needs to be cleaned. You're just taking a clean wet rag and wiping it on the clean cabinet. Do you usually love cleaning this much?
It would soon be covered with a layer of dust.
Yeah, that was not what he said, but I'll read it for him. It must be cleaned like this 1 or 2 times a week. Otherwise, it would soon be covered with a layer of dust. Although he doesn't talk much, his tone and voice give you a gentle feeling and don't make you feel nervous. You climb up the short ladder and wipe the high cabinets with a rag. Suddenly, a cockroach crawls out from the crack in the cabinet. You are so frightened that you lose your balance and fall backwards. You close your eyes. But what you get is not the pain of falling to the ground, but a warm feeling. You open your eyes and find that he's holding you like you're a princess. He catches you with the same old cold expression on his face.
Are you all right?
Perhaps to resolve the awkwardness, he asks. I'm alright, it's just a cockroach. Uh-oh. This is the face of a man who does not like bugs. Hearing the word cockroach, he puts you down. Takes 2 steps back from the cabinet you just wiped, and then says calmly,
Don't come near here yet.
Why?
It's dangerous.
You can't help but chuckle at the thought of a murderer being afraid of cockroaches. Fine, whatever you say. The interaction just now makes you feel a little warmth from this cold murderer. At least you see more of his reactions and expressions. This is the rare relaxation you have felt in these tense days. He could have let you fall off the ladder, but he rushed over to catch you. Somehow you feel that after these few days of getting along, maybe now you both have different ideas about each other than you originally had. It was only a clear relationship between a murderer who wanted to hunt and a prey who was trying to escape. But now it has an extra layer of friendship, causing the interaction between you two to have an indescribable sense of dissonance. Just when you pick up the old newspaper and prepare to wipe the windows, you find a police car parked on the road in the distance. 2 police officers get out of the car and keep looking towards the cabin. At some point, BP is already behind you, looking out the window with you.
Wait for a second.
And then he walks out the door to talk to the police officers.
Is there anything I can help you with?
Are you Mr. Otis?
Yes, I am.
Have you ever seen these people around here?
The police officer takes out some photos from his pocket.
Have these people committed a crime and are running away?
No, these people are the missing people around this area.
I haven't seen them before, but wolves and bears often appear around here.
He's saying he's a wolf. Can we check out your cabin?
Yes, come in.
BP behaves very kindly and politely. After speaking, he leads the way for the police officers.
Please, follow my footsteps. I placed some traps near the cabin to protect against wild wolves and bears. You don't want to step on them.
The police officers enter the house and see you. Hello, this is...
An old friend who came to visit me recently.
You greet the police officers with a smile and a nod. At the same time, a police officer quickly looks through the missing persons photo in his hands. Then, he puts the photo back into his pocket. It seems that your disappearance has not been discovered by anyone yet. You stand next to the bookcase blocking the entrance to the secret room. After searching around, the police find nothing unusual and leave. Oh, that's great. It didn't even give me an option. His trust in you increases. I didn't get an option to do anything in that. All right. Today, you still sleep on the couch in the living room instead of in the cold basement. Half asleep, you hear the sound of someone approaching. When you notice it, the person seems to be very close to you. You pretend to be asleep, and the person just looks at your sleeping face quietly. The man stretches out his hand and takes it back just as he is about to touch your hair. He turns around and leaves. Day 6, morning. You see him busy in the kitchen for a while. Then breakfast is served in front of you. There's a piece of toast with just the right crispiness on the large round plate, a poached egg on the top of the toast, and some lettuce salad. That's okay. That's a salad. The plating looks delicious. The drink is a cup of freshly brewed hot cocoa. The cutlery he gives you is still a round plastic fork with no offensive features. You sit at the dining table and start eating, while he sits on the chair opposite you and flips through a book. It's still snowing outside, and listening to the squeaking sound of the fireplace, the atmosphere in the cabin is particularly comfortable. As long as you ignore the fact that you are in the same room with the murderer who kidnapped you, everything is really relaxing. You look at him, who is full of mysteries, and some questions arise in your mind. And you decide to ask loudly, "I have a question!" You say with a super loud voice.
I'm not Van Gogh. I have ears to hear. What is it?
What book do you usually read? Pick up the book next to you and read it. What work are you going to use me for? Out potted plants and conversation. I might as well use the obvious one. You ask bravely. He looks up at you for a moment.
I was going to make you into some kind of doll at first.
At first?
Your eyes are beautiful, but if they are left alone, they'll become rotten and sunken. So I would like to dig your eyes out and put them in a glass jar and soak them in formalin to preserve them.
Formalin.
Glass beads will be placed in the empty eye sockets to replace the eyes. You look very pleasing to the eye, so I would also like to keep the head intact.
Stop, this is terrible. Thanks for the compliment.
Sorry, I was so immersed in talking about art that I didn't consider your feelings.
Oh. From an artistic point of view, it's a good idea, but you're describing my real corpse. It still scares me.
I'll be careful next time.
Huh? There's still a next time? Why did he say at first? Has his mind changed? You're curious, but you don't have the guts to ask any further. What book do you usually read?
Usually, I would read some anatomy and taxidermy books, but today is different.
What are you reading today?
The Truman Show.
Okay. What is the book like?
The whole world that the protagonist lives in including himself, is all just someone's creation. Everything that happens is watched by the audience, and there is no privacy at all. But he is completely unaware that he is in such a large theater.
Isn't that the one with Jim Carrey?
Very ridiculous, right? I can't imagine this to happen in reality, or to me. If our world was like the Truman Show, how would the audience view the current situation?
Must be unforgivable.
I understand. After all, normal people cannot forgive me for such behavior. But I don't care what they think. I just want to complete my work. I have always been a selfish man.
You pick up the book next to you and start flipping through. It's a book about the possibility of having a completely opposite version of yourself in a parallel world. If there's a complete opposite version of you, what do you think it would be like?
Oh, that book. Let me think. Probably a guy wearing a burgundy coat and always having a smile on his face.
Why is it a burgundy coat?
Because I like blue. If he is the opposite of me, he should like red, right?
Fair point. About potted plants. I saw many potted plants on the shelves in the living room, but why were they all withered?
I have tried my best. I don't know why they always die.
End conversation. Day 6, noon. It's noon time. To thank you for making breakfast for me today, let me make lunch in return. He frowns at you with an expression like, are you out of your mind? Don't worry, you said there are traps outside the house, only you know how to get in and out normally. Even if I resist you with a knife, I can't escape.
Okay, but I'll keep an eye on you. Don't try anything stupid.
I'm only made of stupid ideas, sir. Great. As for what to cook and the ingredients, well, the bad idea flashes through your head, and curiosity makes you ask, you do eat human flesh?
No, why would I do that? I just use human bodies as materials for making art, and I never think about eating them.
Ah, so you're not that kind of crazy. Well, that's great. I thought you murderers all had some degree of cannibalism.
Let's put it this way. Do you eat paint and painting tools? Just because I kill people to use as materials to make works doesn't mean I will eat them. Also, I'm different from those who have fun committing a crime and kill purely for the sake of killing. Don't confuse me with that kind of unprincipled guy. I wouldn't do anything unless necessary. You are here only because you witnessed the crime scene.
I see. After hearing this, you decide to cook a common dish, cook a human meat dish. Let's cook a human meat dish, because he's a murderer. Can I try cooking human flesh? His face.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you do that?
I'm quite curious about the taste of human flesh. Haven't you ever been curious about it?
No, never thought of it.
This also helps you get rid of unnecessary material, doesn't
I
it?
do have some useless cuts of meat in the basement freezer.
Oh my word, he's actually gonna go along with it. Great,
By the way, I won't eat it.
he says, but still takes you to the basement to open the freezer and takes out a piece of human thigh meat. You turn on the oven and start to cook. BP watches the entire production process. Rather than worrying about you escaping, he's more worried about you blowing up the kitchen. Not long after, a roasted human thigh steak appears on the table. He stares at the human steak on the table and has no intention of eating. What's wrong?
You go ahead and eat. I have no appetite.
Hell yeah. Fine. You cut the human steak into a size that fits your mouth, put a piece into your mouth. The human flesh tastes firm, very chewy, and has a distinct beefy flavor. Tastes a bit like venison. Although it's delicious, it's difficult to chew, so you chew it for a very long time. BP frowns and sits aside, watching you eat with gusto. It's really delicious. Wouldn't you like some?
No.
He continues to watch you eating with gusto. At this point, your fork accidentally falls to the ground. You bend down to pick up the fork that had fallen to the bottom of the table, then raise your head to continue eating. You look at your plate and notice that there seems to be a piece of meat missing.
Not bad.
Did you say something?
Nothing.
He licks his fingertips and says, "You had a fairly pleasant afternoon. Day 6, late at night." Oh, okay, somehow that went normal. You were woken up from your sleep by the man. What's wrong? You sit up on the couch and rub your eyes.
Got to go.
Got to go?
I've noticed something unusual about the number of police cars patrolling nearby recently. They must have some relevant evidence and are doubting it. It is very likely there is an ambush outside. It's snowing heavily outside now, and I think it's time to leave now. Come with me or not. It's your choice.
Oh, it told me it's making me safe. You choose to stay or go with him. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna see what happens. I want to stay and live a normal life. You think that this crazy journey should not go on anymore.
Okay, I understand.
Suddenly, his face slowly moves closer to you. Just when he's about to touch you, he takes a piece of cloth and covers your mouth and nose hard. After struggling hard for 2 to 3 minutes, your consciousness gradually becomes blurred. When you open your eyes, you're back in the basement again. You are tied to a chair and can't move your body. You try to break free, but you fail. The rope is tied very firmly. You hear someone's footsteps getting closer to the door. The door opens. He walks in slowly, holding something behind his back. He moves closer and closer to you until he's at your ear. You can hear his breathing and your own heartbeats. You close your eyes out of fear. You can feel that he's scratching your skin softly with the back of a knife, and the cold metal stimulates your nerves. His palm is holding the back of your neck through his glove, as if he is studying your face and thinking about where to cut it. Fear boils inside you, tears filling your eyes unconsciously. Suddenly, he fiercely holds up the back of your neck, forcing you to look at him in the eyes. He slowly speaks with a soft tone in your ear.
If you stay here, you might reveal my information to the police. The risk of keeping you alive is too high. But even if I say I want you to come with me, a normal person like you will leave me one day eventually. I quite like you, and if it's you, I would like to turn you into a work and put you somewhere I can see you every day.
Yep.
It's you who made me realize that I might be more selfish than I thought. Don't worry. I'll saw your head off as material for artwork and visit you every day. Thank you for spending these few days with me. I felt quite at ease.
Shit.
We'll have more time to spend together in the future.
The red flower flows from the neck. Day 7. Now you can neither feel or think. Everything becomes dark. Oh. Okay. Your body and your skull are separated. He finds a new place after he takes your head and leaves the cabin. He carefully makes your head into a specimen, and your eyes are replaced with glass beads. You are made into a beautiful but also creepy doll, and he visits you often. You become his favorite work. You are with him forever in the form of art. Good end. 4-1. Favorite work. Alright, well, we saw what happens if we would choose to say, so I guess we have no choice but to go with him. The beauty of Stockholm Syndrome. What do you want me to do? I'm fine with both choices, but I need you to look me in the eyes and tell me, what do you prefer me to do? You stare at his eyes.
I prefer.
He hesitates to speak and looks away, looking like he's thinking about something. Oh, I had a timer. I clicked hold hand. Your behavior makes him a little panicked, and he doesn't seem to be good at this kind of situation. You notice that his ears are flushed, and this unexpected reaction makes you want to tease him a little bit. What do you prefer me to do?
I prefer.
After a moment of silence, he slowly speaks.
Let you come with me.
He tries hard to look you in the eyes and speaks his thoughts.
We'll set off early tomorrow morning.
Day 7.
Follow my footsteps.
You follow the shoe prints he leaves on the snow and finally succeed in avoiding the many traps around the cabin. Just as you are walking through the forest, you hear movement behind you. Freeze! In the snowstorm, several policemen who are lying in ambush chase after you. You ignore them and keep running forward. Okay, a gunshot shoots across the sky and you feel a pain in your left calf. You are shot. He turns to look at you, as if he's considering whether to leave you. Oh, okay, run. You yell at him, but he approaches you. And he holds you in his arms. You feel a warmth over your forehead. He kisses your forehead. You feel the time freeze at this moment. The kiss is almost like a goodbye. Then he leaves you and runs forward, disappearing into the heavy snow. You are later taken back to the police for questioning. You say throughout the process that you were a victim. On that note, you're not lying. You don't reveal any unnecessary details. Since there is no relevant evidence to prove that you are an accomplice, the police can only release you after a long period of interrogation. After that, 2 years passed. Oh wow, it's already been 2. Now you live in a cheap little apartment. You live in an ordinary life as if what happened 2 years ago never happened. Today is Halloween, and every household nearby has put some thought into making decorations. But for you, it's just another day at work. When you return to your apartment after getting off work in the evening, the strange thing is that as soon as you open the door, you feel a gust of wind. Remember that you closed the window before going out. Just when you are about to close the window, you find a gift left by someone on the table, next to the windowsill. A red rose. You don't know why, but you have a feeling that BP has been here. Every Halloween after that, you receive a rose at your residence. It's like a once-a-year greeting. Although he says nothing, the rose seems to tell everything. Although you have certain similarities, you are 2 people from different worlds after all. Perhaps living your own life this way is the best outcome for both of you. Good ending. 4 out of 2. Different worlds. Okay, I'm not gonna try to do this, but without holding his hand, see what happens.
I prefer. If
Do
I
not.
take you with me, you might become a burden in the process.
Ah,
But if I don't take you, it will be even worse if you reveal my information to the police.
he calmly analyzes the situation.
So you might as well come with me.
Day 7.
Follow my footsteps.
You follow the shoe prints he leaves on the snow and firmly... Yeah. Just as you are walking through the forest, you hear him moving by... Yeah. Freeze. Policemen are lying in ambush, chase after you, ignore them and keep running forward. Bang, gunshot. He turns to look at you, as if he's considering whether to leave you. He approaches you. Stab. And he holds you in his arms. Then you feel a pain in your back. The hand he is holding around you from behind has a sharp blade. He pierces your body with that sharp blade over and over again until you lose consciousness. Everything becomes dark. Until just now you realize that you chose to follow because he and R are the same kind. I want to follow him. Want to follow him? You wake up from a nightmare and you are lying on a comfortable bed. You look around and find yourself in a cozy looking room with specimens hanging on the walls.
Are you all right?
The man asks as he opens the door. I'm all right. 2 years after that. At night 2 years ago, even after you were shot in the leg, the two of you continued to run forward in the snow. Fortunately, the wind and snow were strong enough to cover up your whereabouts, so you were not caught up. After that, you came to another remote mountainous area and rented another cabin to settle here.
If you're fine, get up quickly. I will need your help in today's creation.
Yes, teacher.
Bring me the bone saw.
Okay.
Iron in the blood will trigger a luminol reaction. Any area with bloodstains outside should be wiped with hydrogen peroxide at least 3 times.
Oh wow, I'm actually learning how to kill people. Yeah, that's great.
Wiping blood-stained areas with hydrogen peroxide reduces the luminescence, but when it's dark, it still glows obviously to the naked eye. So, try not to leave bloodstains anywhere other than the basement.
Got it.
Good girl. You're learning fast.
He teaches you carefully, every step and every detail. You assist him in cleaning up crime scenes and assisting him in completing his creations. During the day, you pretend to be a good citizen under your false identities. And at night, in a place where people can't see you, you create creations that are outraged by both humans and gods. The paranoia of art, the clean and neat killing methods, the cautious and intelligent thoughts, the neat and invisible crime scenes. You are obsessed with everything about him, and he is the person you long to follow. You long to become the second him under his leadership. He is a good mentor. Rather than pampering his disciple, he prefers to use guidance to let you learn freely. You have become a pawn that he is proud of. For him, you would do anything. Until an accident occurred while committing a crime. His legs were permanently injured. He can only walk with crutches since then. He was already in his 40s at this time, but you feel that the traces of time makes his elegance even more charming. Just when you think that the bloody painter's evil deeds have come to an end.
Take it. I have nothing left to teach you.
Teacher, what do you mean by that?
You seem to like this mask very much. I don't think I'll use it anymore, so I'll give it to you. What to do next is up to you.
He gives his mask to you. You look at the mask in your hand and seem to understand the meaning of his teacher's words. You think to yourself that maybe your encounter with him years ago was just for this moment. I won't disappoint you. The legend continues. Good end. 4 out of 3. Master and disciple. That was an intriguing one. Not gonna lie, that out of all of them was the most intriguing. Because, I mean, it kind of made sense. I mean, think about it. Like, the way she was acting and reacting, the fact that she was okay with eating human, I mean, it kind of made sense. Anyway. He and I are the same kind. You wake up from a nightmare and you are laying on a comfortable bed. You look around and find yourself in a cozy-looking room with
Are you all right?
The man asks as he opens the door. I'm all right. 2 years after that, the night 2 years ago, even after you were shot in the leg, the two of you continue to run forward in the snow. Okay, more things. After that, you came to a remote mountainous area.
I heard someone talk very frequently in her sleep.
I was just having a nightmare. He sits on the edge of the bed and strokes your cheek, his forehead touching yours gently.
Don't worry. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing more dangerous than me here.
He's right. If you are just an ordinary person, you should be worried about the murderer living under the same roof as you now, rather than a nightmare. But you are not an ordinary person. You are as cold-blooded and emotionless as him. You two are equally evil, but this makes you both find a sense of belonging in the other. Living with others made him feel uncomfortable at first, but living with a crazy person like him doesn't make him feel uncomfortable. Because you can always quickly know what the other person is thinking, and you also know clearly whether the other person's boundary is. You live under the same roof, but you don't interfere with each other. He continues to commit crimes, and you sometimes participate on a whim. You have each other by the short hairs, and you know that if you expose each other's crimes to the public, then you'll be finished too. So you more or less cover each other. You have a strange symbiotic relationship where you sometimes dislike each other, sometimes deceive each other. But you also have absolute trust in each other. Two madmen keeping each other company. Good end. 4 of 4. Madmen's house. Alright. Well, that is every single ending, good and bad, of Bloody Painter Dating Simulator. That was a very intriguing game. I think, again, the best is the mentorship one I found was the most intriguing. Some would say it's a good end, others say it's not, but it makes sense. It goes with the character protag's idealisms, the thought process, the fact that they're willing to cook people and eat them. I mean, it's intriguing to me. I didn't think that there was going to be many good endings as there was bad endings, but at first there was a bunch of bad endings, and then you had this big long pause, and then you had a bunch of good endings, which is great because I mean it's easier to follow. But I also feel like there could have been more splitting in there. Otherwise, I enjoyed it. The story was intriguing. And then here you get to see all the pictures of everything. And I think I got all of them. That is the most horrifying thing to see, I'm not gonna lie. So I did try and look into a bunch of the files, the game files, and I tried to look into the actual community. I couldn't find anything for the lockbox that has the strange writing in it. So I even looked into the game files itself. I couldn't find anything. So maybe if you play this game and you find something, put it in the comments. And without further ado, thank you all so much for watching. And if you did, let me know in the comments below what you liked about this game, and what other games you want to see me play. With that, I'll leave you to adios and goodbye.